So patterns, and I am doing them. Today I am waking up and going out, giving the dogs a walk, even though it's a little late, it's a weekend. I'm relaxing a little. I've been exhausted at the end of every day where I'm like, I can't do anything anymore. The MTurk that I'm doing online, I start misspelling things. I'm getting lazy. I'm getting ambidextrous. Like literally in my head, I am saying a different way of how the word is spelled, but I'm typing it right. And it trips me out because I'm like, wait, no, I did that wrong. And then I look back and it's typed right. Or it's the other way around where I say it the right way in my head and then it's typed with completely different keys. And it doesn't make any sense. Anyways, the pattern is that if I keep going, I will break myself. And is breaking myself a good thing? It depends on what. It depends on if I'm looking to break myself to be a glow stick, or if I'm looking to break myself to be broken glass on the floor that can't be put back together unless you somehow melt it and put it back together. If that's even possible, I don't know personally. Maybe I will. I mean, of course, I will look for how glass is made in the future, since that's what UI and the patterns that I'm creating are about, is in a way an encyclopedia of the ideas that bring the reality that we see into actuality. So at first they were something undefined, and then my pattern is to bring that undefined into the defined space, into you can communicate over wavelengths in the air, to cell phones. So that's what's happened in reality, from there's this black, mysterious goo under the ground that if you put fire to it, it lights in a brilliant light, to oil and gasoline. These undefined things are what control our reality today. From this website that I don't know that if I put this code into the computer, if it comes out to this picture from this file over here in this section, and then it relates in a animated to figurine until it's a GIF, and I can easily post them at any point. These things that seem so complicated are actually really simple once it's explained on a mass scale. So we have a problem with water, and my pattern is to bring the understanding that desalination exists. That you could take water from the ocean, you could take the salt out of it, you can use that water, you could pee that water, you could grow with that water, and then after that water's done, after you cleaned it from your waste process, after you picked it up from your aquaponics station, you can then put the salt back into it and put it back into the ocean. I mean, with proper testing and making sure that this could all work is the part of the undefined section that I'm so thinking of right now. That's what I'm working towards to make definable. That when you go on to our website, you are able to find things that you probably wouldn't have thought of that will make your life a whole lot easier, especially if you're in a different country and don't have water. Like, boom, 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 boom. Here's ideas to get that happening. And if you're in a different country and don't have water but have internet, that's something different on its own. So in the future, I get to create the patterns to have jets and planes and helicopters to provide information to people out there in the world to get clean water, to get the understanding of masonry and building things, and to get this reality of creation out there, to get the undefined of everybody else has it but I don't, to I can do it too. And it starts as simple as me getting up in the morning earlier than today for sure because I'm late, even though it's a weekend, and taking the dogs on a walk, the walk on the dogs. See, I'm already tired and I just woke up. Or to later today, I'm sure I'll be training the dogs a little bit, just probably a little. I mean, I get to take them on several walks today, so that's training right there. And today for me is Earth Creatures Day, so it's a day that I get to focus on Earth creatures. And am I gonna do that all the way? I don't know. I get to work on MTurk and make some sort of profit. I get to figure out if I'm okay to keep going, because if you're strained, if you're stressed, if you're tired and you walk, you will collapse. And I'm not looking forward to collapsing. Tomorrow's my day of rest, so I'm going to walk or at least stand up. I'm gonna stand up right now as I give the dogs a walk, and I'm gonna see if I collapse or not, or if I'm feeling weak. And if I'm feeling weak, then I'm probably not gonna do much for the rest of the day. I will probably do some MTurks, but I'm not gonna screw myself over where I'm getting dyslexic again. So that way, when it does come Sunday, I can go to sleep practically, and I can wake up Monday with a whole lot more energy than today, right now, where I didn't follow my schedule the last week. I mean, I did in a way, but not like completely, where I'm taking naps every other hour. I didn't, or every 2 hours. And I allowed myself to push beyond a few of my limits. And that's, to a lot of people, would be like, you didn't do anything. You are a limitless piece of sack shit. And to me, I'm like, I've been understanding what's going on inside of my mouth. I am starting a website with a filing system that I am appreciative can blow people away and help them at the same time. I am working on MTurk to do a small amount of capital. I'm allowing myself to feel like somebody in a different country who isn't able to get that much per day. And I'm excelling at the hard grind to make even more than that, to know how to work hard and push and push and push. And I'm trading Forex, the foreign exchange market, which is money in its essence, seeing how it flows, how it moves, how it pushes and pulls. And at the same time, all of these ideas are flooding my mind, just ready to be filed and pushed out towards you guys to use and implement. And these ideas are things that other people have created. Some of them I've put together by other people's creations, like just them working together, like a symbiotic relationship of plants. If you grow tomatoes, beans, I don't think tomatoes are in that category, but it's basically a corn stalk, beans, and something else. Those three work in a symbiotic relationship. I know those three aren't there since there's a something else. So those two, if you grow corn and beans, they grow in a symbiotic relationship. The beans grow kind of like a bush or a vine. And then the corn grows as a stalk for the bush or vine to grow up and to stay stable. So they work together. And some of the ideas are ideas that have existed forever, but they work together. Some of them are ideas that have existed forever, but people aren't using them. And people are in situations where they don't have enough, and they don't have water, and they don't know that this is edible. And they're starving, and they're thirsty. And that's happening right now. So making sure that I can work to get this done means that the time of people suffering for water and food and housing slows down. The quicker I work, the more that slows down. And that's good, because we want those people to have food, water, and housing. We want the information of, this is edible, you can build this, and this is blah, blah, blah out there. Like some colleges are doing, like the UN is doing, like people are doing it. But it's almost like on a governmental scale, governmental or educational scale. And the majority of people don't see it on that scale. They don't see life on that scale. The majority of people have rural towns, but still have Coca-Cola bottles. Like, that's something powerful right there, even though how weird that is. It's powerful because they get information from media sources, not from education sources. Only the people who are super smart are going to be like, let me get that education source. The rest of the people are going to say, let me drink that Coca-Cola. Then they're going to get Coca-Cola shipped in from who knows where to who knows where. And then there's Coca-Cola bottles everywhere, unless they have a recycling program there. But going from that education space, only the smart people are going to do that. The regular people are going to do the Coca-Cola bottles. And then the governmental people are going to go the UN way. Like the support, the help, the paperwork, the blah, 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 the blah, 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 the blah, 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 the signatures, the government, the blah, blah, blah. And those are only a fraction of the people. I want to get that information out there the Coca-Cola way, because that's the 90%. It's probably more than 90%. Let's say that's probably 98% or 97%. 2% go the governmental way, and 1% go the education way. And that could be mixed, variables differ for each area. Maybe there's an area where everybody wants to go the education way, right? It really depends. There's small fishing towns, there's small villages, there's a bunch of places that still get Coca-Cola bottles. It doesn't make sense, but here they are. And that's how I want UI to be. Or that's how UI gets to be. That's how it is. In a way where instead of there being a waste product left over of Coca-Cola, there's a product left over of a culture or a community, of a reality called UI, where they get to, in turn, have the education or the media to know how to deal with the circumstances that are in their reality. Like, let's say they have a trash problem. Now they know how to recycle. Now they know how to do this. Now they know how to do that. And for me, this starts with filing on the website. So by having a set of files of, this is how you do, 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 and talking about it, and having a community and a forum. And that's my pattern. That's what I'm working on. And today, if I can, it's walking the dogs, which I can. So I get to do that. Then after that, today would be seeing if I can M-Turk and eating breakfast. And then walking the dogs again. And then eating lunch and seeing how far I could get from there. I'm probably not working on the website today. I would probably only strain myself with M-Turk. So that's what I'm working on. Anyways, patterns. Bye.